Doctors see something coming out of baby's face. When they find out what it was, it left them in awe. Doctors in Louisiana removed a rare facial tumor from a Brazilian 3-year-old after her parents took to social media pleading for help. Melissa Delgado Braga of Sao Paulo is now recovering from the 8-hour surgery conducted in December. Little Melissa's journey to the United States began when Dr. Celso Palmieri Jr., assistant professor of oral and maxillofacial surgery at the Louisiana State University Health Sciences Center, read a post on a Brazilian news site while reviewing publications from his home country. The child's family was seeking help to get their daughter to the United States for treatment. As I was reading more about her story, I realized our department could probably help her, in particular Dr. Gali and his department. I've seen him helping people so many times, so I took a screenshot of the child and texted it to him, Palmieri said of his colleague Dr. G. Gali. After an hour searching social media, he was able to get into contact with the parents who speak only Portuguese. Gali, chairman of LSU Health, said he believed he could help Melissa, but before reaching out to the family, he wanted to ensure a safe and affordable way to the United States. He turned to Shreveport's Willis-Knighton Health System, a nonprofit healthcare organization with a history of hosting international patients and rare surgeries. Officials there agreed to provide the family with housing and underwrite the cost of the hospital stay. A month later, Melissa arrived in the United States for surgery. Gali diagnosed her with a myxoma, a very rare and aggressive tumor. This is typically a benign tumor, non-cancerous, but it's very locally aggressive, he explained. This tumor's pretty much eaten away her entire jaw from one side to the other and has displaced her tongue. She's really unable to eat pretty well. She was on her way to be a pretty malnourished child. Lisa Babin, LSU's health director of public affairs, said the cause of myxoma is unknown. Myxomas are more common in females than males. Approximately 10% of myxomas are thought to be genetic. These are called familial myxomas and are more likely to be numerous and occur in younger patients, she explained. Without the surgery, Babin said, Melissa would have needed a feeding tube and was about a month away from her breathing being blocked. Patients generally die a slow progressive death from the combination of malnourishment and blocked airways. Gali, who along with the other surgeons donated his services, said at a recent news conference that the girl's breathing was bad and that the tumor was pushing her tongue to the back of her throat. The girl's mother asked if I would be able to reconstruct the tongue because over the past few years, her tongue had been obliterated by the tumor, he said. While she recovers in Louisiana, Melissa regained full use of her tongue. When we were able to remove the tumor weighed over 5 pounds on a child that probably doesn't weigh more than 25 herself total weight, Gali said. I am grateful for everything the doctors here have been able to do for my daughter, and in only a short month, the girl's father said. Another similar case. A Ghanaian girl who had a life-changing surgery to remove a tumor that grew behind her eye is now training to be a medic herself as she wants to help those with similar deformities. Dorothy Anning, now 21, went to America in 2008 for the operation that removed the tumor which had replaced her eye socket. Her complicated surgery was carried out by neurosurgeon Dr. Jim Robinson, who had never seen a case as severe as Dorothy's. After 2 months of recovery, she returned to Ghana and is now hoping to follow in her doctor's footsteps by tending to those with disabilities and deformities. Dorothy was only 6 when she developed a cranial tumor that grew from the bone in her skull and protruded out behind the right half of her face. As she got older, the tumor grew and did occupy the space where her eyes should have been. She recalled people being scared of the sight of her and how they would even run away in fright. As her condition worsened, a Ghanaian doctor contacted Children's Cross Connection in Atlanta, and they agreed to pay for her medical care and cover her travel expenses. She was treated by Dr. Robinson, who had never handled such a rare and serious type of brain tumor that was compressing and distorting the brain. Speaking to AJC.com, he recalled, "You could see how deep it went inside her head and the shift in pressure in the brain. There was a cosmetic component to it, but it was growing for years, getting bigger and bigger. She was tough as nails, absolutely sweet too. It was too risky to treat with radiation, so his only choice was to remove the entire tumor without any residual. The surgery took more than 23 hours over 2 days of surgery. Dr. Robinson had to work freestyle at various points in the risky operation, which involved working in the skull and face in what he described as his greatest accomplishment as a surgeon. Once Dorothy had recovered from the removal of the tumor, he performed a reconstruction of the missing skull and upper eye socket. After a lengthy recovery time, Anning and her mother Comfort returned to their homeland. For the first time in Ghana, Dorothy was able to walk with my head held up high without people running away in fear at her appearance. She kept up contact with her doctor and attends a physician's school at the University of Ghana. She now hopes to make a difference to someone's life in the same way Dr. Robinson changed hers for the better.